What's up, my hunting brothers and sisters? Today we're taking a look at a cool new one stick from Out on a Limb Manufacturing. This is their Pinch Point, a new offering for 2024, so stay tuned. All right, so today we are taking a look at the new Pinch Point One Stick by Out on a Limb. If you're familiar with Out on a Limb Manufacturing as a company, they make tree stands, they make sticks for saddle hunters or mobile hunters in general to get up a tree. Very nice products. They make little platforms for saddle hunters and one sticks. And so for 2024, they got two new offerings. This one called the Pinch Point. They got another one called the Plain Jane. So we're going to take a look at the Pinch Point today. So full disclosure on this, Matt, who owns Out on the Limb, I've known Matt for several years. I have no professional affiliation with Matt whatsoever, but I was at the ATA show in early January 2024. And knowing that I one stick, he said, hey, I want to send you home with one of my new Pinch Point saddles. You do a video on it, do a review, it's yours to keep, and all that free of charge. So I did not pay anything for this. But Matt's not going to see this video until all of you do. So there's no obligations, no financial transactions either way. Just want that full transparency. I do want to apologize to Matt because he gave me this in early January, and here we are at the end of February, and I'm just now getting around to making this video. The weather here is just stunk. It's been wintertime. We've either had just bitter cold and snow and rain. And then life gets in the way, but enough of that. So let's talk about this new one stick. Now, I got to say that I've debated for several weeks how to do this video because a straight up review of a product and just tell you how awesome it is. I mean, I don't know that that really is a full service to everyone. So I really look at the Out on the Limb product as a Cadillac type of product in the one sticking space for sure. And I would say that the other Cadillac or high quality performer is that made by Eastern Woods Outdoors. Sorry about that. Total brain fade there. Eastern Woods Outdoors. So I actually have an Eastern Woods Outdoors Ultimate One Stick right here. And I don't really want this to be a comparison like one's better than the other video, but I really think when you're reviewing a premium product, you almost have to make a comparison to a similar premium product. So we're going to go over some of the features of this and kind of compare it to some of the features of this. And I'm not going to say that one's better than the other because I'll tell you full disclosure, they're both stinking awesome one sticks. Okay, so let's first talk a little bit about the Pinch Point. Right now it's just kind of bundled up. So I'm going to unbundle the Amsteel cord and we'll go over a couple of the basics on this. So first of all, let's just get like out of the way, a price point on this. So as this sets right here, I went on to Matt's website and I believe if I got everything right in the options, I believe this setup right here retails for around $405. So, you know, $400-ish for this setup right here. This happens to be the one that is 12 inches long. And you can get this also in, I believe, 14 and 16 inch, maybe another longer one, but this is 12 inches. That's kind of what I'm familiar with. So Matt's like, hey, I got a 12 inch, why don't you take it? So basically it's all aluminum construction. It's all welded construction too. So, the bottom step and the top step are welded to the main tube. What makes this product stand out compared to others is this top step flips completely over and out of the way. And you're like, well, why? That just kind of seems on the surface gimmicky. Well, I guess on the surface maybe it would, but let's say you want to pack this thing. The cool part about this one stick is it's got a big, really big top platform. We'll take some measurements here in a minute, but it's big. So if you're going to pack this in, you got all this obnoxious step sticking out. Well, if you throw it on your pack and you flip this over, now you can, the sudden you can see your profile that as you pack this up is much smaller. Huge benefit. So how do you deal with that though? Climbing, the cool part is when you get to a tree, if you've ever one sticked up a tree and you're using the bottom platform or off of steps, you know that this top platform can get into your shins. Well, the cool part about this is you can actually put it in a vertical position like this and climb the tree and not have that giant platform sticking out. So it's a pretty slick design, and I climbed several trees with this thing. I mean, you can see it's actually dirty. I mean, and I wasn't sure how I'd like it, and I like that feature. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. It is pretty slick, and it is pretty slick to be able to throw it on your pack and have it be that profile versus more of this profile, which you're gonna see on, I think, most every other one stick that's out there. So that's kind of cool. Matt did also come up with a an adapter plate behind the Harken cleat, so now the rope is straight, attaches and it's straight in line with the cam cleat. So when you go around and you loop it back through, on others it clamps typically below, and you got a little bit of an angle to the rope. Is that a big deal or not? I don't really know. I guess I'm kind of like indifferent about it, but it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty innovative. It's fairly low profile, and you don't have to worry about your rope sliding down the stick. So that is kind of neat, definitely. He's got the bottom step on here, and he's got 2 bolts in the bottom step that go through that you can hang aiders off of. I know that he does sell aiders on his website. I actually tested this out with a set of the Ultimator aiders. I got several sets of them, really like them, and they work really great on this type of setup. Very similar to Shikar sticks. He's got the essentially the same type of cleat system or claw system that grabs into the tree. And as far as the offset, as far as I know, it's the same as what his Shikars are. So, what's this thing weigh? His website says that this setup weighs just under 5 pounds. However, I think that's without the rope, without the Harken cleat. My guess is that'd be totally stripped down. With the rope, with the Harken cleat and everything, I threw it on my meat scale, and it was about 5 1/3 pounds, so about 5 ounces, 5 pounds 5 ounces, in that ballpark. So, you know, that's, the weight is what it is. So, you know, by comparison, the Eastern Woods Ultimate One Stick, as you see right here with the rope and a cleat and everything in a 12-inch configuration, weighs about 4.5 pounds. So it's a little heavier. You know, is 2/3 to 3/4 a pound, you know, difference, is that too much for you? That's subjective, and that's for everybody else to determine. So while we are comparing these two a little bit, I will say again, this one retails for, I think, $405. If I selected all the options right on this one, it's right around the $350 mark. So the Eastern Wood stick is 50 or so bucks less than this. Again, is that a big deal? That's up to you and your wallet, and depending on what you want out of a stick. So a couple of things about this stick is, again, the beauty of this thing is how large this platform right here is. And you can see it is somewhere right around 14 inches wide at its widest point. And then if we look at it sticking off of a tree, and I'll just go from, say, the back of the tube right here. Right there, you're looking at 7 3/4-ish inches, pretty close to that. And the teeth that bite into the tree, they stick out off the back, roughly 2 1/4 inches. So you got about 2 1/4 inches of standoff here, and again, probably about 7 3/4 inch step by 14 or so inch step that way to work off of on the top. You know, I mean, if you want to compare on the Eastern Woods, again, we're comparing the two Cadillacs, in my opinion, out there. You could say the widest, which is subjective because, again, this one's got a tapered front on it. Let me grab this here. It's all twisting. You're about 13.5 inches to the widest port, but that's not true. The platform really on this is closer to 10 inches wide. So you got a much narrower platform on this from the backside of the tube out you're looking at about 5.5, or no, I guess about 5 inches or so. So again, not as deep. This is definitely a larger standing platform. Here's what I will say there's a difference though is, again, on this one from the back of the tube to the furthest point on the teeth here in your standoff, you're somewhere around 2.25 to 2.5 inches, where on the Eastern Woods Outdoors, you're right around 3 inches. So, and I did notice this when I got on the tree, that when you're climbing with them, let's see if I can set it here and hopefully you can see it, you have more standoff room on the Eastern Woods than what you do with the Out on a Limb. 1/2 inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. Some of that's relative to how big or small the tree diameter is, because it's going to fit in or out of there differently. You know, typically when you're climbing on this one, you're going to have that flipped up. So you can see the difference in foot space you have to work with when you're climbing. Now, again, when you get to hunting height, this has got a lot of real estate on it. So similarly, though, we see on the bottom step, I love a bottom platform type of step on my one stick. I know some guys just like your traditional step. I love a bottom platform stick. Here's where I'd say that in my opinion, I actually prefer the Eastern Woods over the Out on a Limb. I mean, again, this is very subjective because this step is much narrower. I mean, you're only talking like, say, 3 inches, 2 3/4 inches. And again, you got that standoff there, where on the Eastern Woods, you got a much, much deeper bottom step. From the backside out, you're talking 3.5 inches. And again, you got almost 3 inches of standoff. So you just got a lot more room to put your foot here on that bottom step. Also, what it does do, and I check this out quite a bit, is because you're going to hang your aider off of the bolts. And again, Eastern Woods has the similar bolt here. The Eastern Woods actually pulls the aider out off the tree further. It just makes it a little easier to get your foot into and out of those aiders, as to where it's hanging relatively close to the tree with the Out on a Limb. So those are just kind of, you know, the basic differences. Again, this one's a 12-inch, which it pretty much measures 12-inch step to step, where on the Eastern Woods, they do a 12-inch stick. And in a 12-inch stick, you're talking like 10.5 inches step to step. So subtle differences. So yeah, it's, you know, again, this is a review of this product, but you got to sit here and look at, okay, let's compare it to the other premium one, what I feel is the premium one out there. And I don't even really know that there's a winner between the two. I think it's really his personal preference. I think they're both amazing, amazing steps. I mean, you cannot go wrong, in my opinion, with either of them. And I think you just got to weigh in your mind, you know, what's most important to you. Do you like a deeper standoff with a little more foot room or flexibility and foot room for your aiders? Do you like that better? And, you know, again, maybe a little bit lighter, $50 cheaper, or do you really, really like that real estate on this one right here? This is not difficult to climb. I would say, comparing the aider situation, the bottom steps, where it really would matter to me is in colder weather when you're wearing bulkier clothes, bulkier boots. The extra real estate on the bottom step for the Eastern Woods might be more beneficial, but in that same scenario with the bigger boots, this is a lot better for a real estate standpoint. So I really think they're just a win-win either way with these products. Yeah, so overall, I mean, what are my thoughts on this product? I really, really like it. I think a true comparison between, say, this Eastern Woods setup and a Out on the Limb would be their new Plain Jane, because from what I saw, I didn't take measurements, but the top platform is more similar to the Eastern Woods in size. It's just a little more smaller, compact type of setup. It's less expensive. It's going to weigh less. At that point in time, then you start really getting down to some nitpicking on, you know, maybe you just like, you know, the way the standoff are on the Eastern Woods over this because they're deeper, maybe you like the bottom step better. But again, I don't really think you can go wrong with either product. So I really think that Matt has hit a home run with this product. If I was going to tell Matt things I would like to see him improve, I would love to see these be deeper, but also know that this is his Shikar design, and that's a good design. It works really well. These bite into the tree, awesome. The one thing I definitely would love to see is I would love to see that this bottom step being, say, an inch deeper and being allowed to move that aider out a little bit further off the tree. But we're really splitting hairs here and really nitpicking. So I don't think you can go wrong. I really don't with the Out on the Limb product, or the Eastern Wood product, for that matter. I think Matt's got a great product here. I really kind of thought this was a gimmick, but when I started playing with it, I'm like, that's not a gimmick. It's pretty cool that you can pack it up in a lower profile. You can climb with it. It's a lower profile that's not getting in the way. You get to hunting site height. You flip that down. And I do like that real estate, So winner. I mean, it really is. This is a good product, folks. So I'd encourage you to get online and check them out. Get to one of the various hunt expos, this year where, mobile hunting is going to be on display. And hopefully Matt's here and you can check them out and compare them with all the other brands that are out there, including the Eastern Wood. So there you go. That's all I got on this. And so as always, God bless. Stay safe. And we'll see you in the next video. So, as always, it's a new day in the outdoors.